the optimal is static. When it is balanced now, because of schedule of work and other things you do in your personal life, it continues to change. So there's no static way of saying the moment I attain work balance, it continues forever. Not at all. The other bit of it is that the best work-life balance will be different from each other. If I am saying I'm achieving work-life balance, the next person to me may say what is giving or making him or her to achieve work balance is not really helping. So when we go further, we are saying that why is this work-life balance important? Why is it important at all? And we are saying the tendency to burn out more quickly, but those with healthy balance have more motivation and they are more productive. That is why it's important. Essential for one's health and well-being. If you are not balanced, there are going to be a lot of stress around your health and your well-being. It gives you time to spend with your family, with friends, for leisure, and have more time to do things that you love. It improves almost every aspect of your life. And we are saying that in the 21st century, that it is more challenging than ever because the workload predicts other stressors. So what do you now do? You ensure that you balance it. Off-site or remote work is even much more challenging. People say that they do remote work. They are complaining that the challenge or the stress that remote work gives is not even as much as the one they obtain or they have when they are in brick and mortar, physically in the office. So going further, the causes we have said include unreasonable increased responsibility at work, increased responsibility at home, mental illness, suffering from all manners of depression or things that could just ensure that your health is at risk. You are not in right frame of mind to process or take some decisions that help you to achieve balance at work and at home. Rising expenses. Maybe a married person, the job is not really too good and expensive on the increase or whatever, or all supporting supervisors. All is about work, work, work. He doesn't feel concerned about the mental aspect of life of the staff, Or we are talking about other things involved, such as maybe when you see that it's just work, let me put it away, does that work? He doesn't care. And that's why people walk away from their work. So when they work, they don't work away from organization, they walk away from their bosses. That this boss does not know more than work. He does not care about my personal mental being. So how then do we now navigate from such state to achieve work-life balance? Number one, you must accept that there's no perfect work-life balance. That is the truth. You must accept that no perfect one. It varies from individual to individual. It's also varied from organization to organization. Regardless of the effort they make, even if you introduce work-life balance in your organization, different staff or different employees are going to react or appreciate it in different manner. Even if you put gym in the office, even if you have creche, why some people with children will appreciate creche, those who have stopped having children will say, is that the next thing to do? But you must have said that there's no perfect work balance. But look at the areas of your life where you need to touch to ensure that there's congruence between the workplace and the family place and your leisure place to ensure that your whole being enjoys some modicum of balance or a little bit of an equilibrium. Number two, love what you do. You don't need to love every aspect of your job, but you need to be anxiety enough that you don't dread getting out of bed every morning. When you get to a level that you are not too sure of how the office will be, and it's like if you have your way, you will not go to work, then that alone is a problem and it affects your balance. So if you need to find a new job, why not? If you work in a toxic environment for a toxic person or do that job that you don't really love, in fact, there's nothing more than work-life imbalance in that. And you must begin to think that, what can I do to get out of this? Steve Jobs, that popular entrepreneur, Steve Jobs, said, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle down yet. Don't settle yet. That is Steve Jobs, the popular Steve Jobs. So the number three thing to achieve work-life balance is prioritize and invest in your health. Prioritize and invest in your health. Try to invest in your health over physical, emotional, and mental. That should be your concern. Prioritize and invest in your health so that as simple as daily meditation or exercises or anything that you know will make you to be in good state of health. These are things that you need to do to ensure that in little bits, incremental credits, you'll be achieving work-life balance. And we are also saying that life will always, that is Lila Akita said, life will always get busy. Make time to do things you love. So even in the crisis of many things you have to cope with, you must ensure that you take time to things you love because it will give you both psychologically, mentally, and emotional balance. Number 4, unplug, unwind. And that's one thing I must commend with even this platform, HR Mentor. Because series of programs, after we have done a lot of training, someday we say, let us hang out. Let us hang out. That means we are walking the talk. We can't be teaching people what to do and we are not living by example. It is easy to be on digital age, connect devices every time, but you can turn on your phone, notification for a few hours, practice meditation and some other things that you know will help you to gain some balance, other than 24 hours, no rest. You know, ultimately, this little, if you do all this unplug we are talking about, it will automatically reduce your stress and you can have a healthy disposition, you know. And we are saying to ourselves, take a vacation, take time off, physically and mentally. And many of us, when we say we're on vacation, we are with all bags of laptop, the iPad or whatever. So that is no longer vacation. But you'll be off work and have some mental recess to kind of rejuvenate. And by the time you come back from the vacation, you better. But when we are out of office, some of us, even when they are not calling us, we are the one calling them. So even as social practitioners, you are not leading by example if you are doing that. But if you are doing that, you are able to engage other managers, other business leaders, and they will say truthfully, when they say it's not possible, you tell them how it has been possible, how you have been doing it as an HR practitioner, how every staff in your department has been observing a work-life balance, how they have been taking maybe one day off to settle one or two things, and they come back and they are committed to the work. You start from HR. When they see that you are walking the talk, it will not be difficult for you to sell to the leader, and it become an institutionalized policy where everybody embraces the work-life balance, you know. So make time for yourself and your loved ones, you know. Achieving work balance requires deliberate action. If not, you don't be theoretical. They are just talking it, you are not working it. No matter how hectic your schedule might be, you ultimately have control over your time. If you prioritize, you know when you can unwind and you can allocate your time effectively to take care of everything that is of interest to you, you know. Michael Thomas said, working smarter is learning to prioritize. Working smarter is learning to what? Prioritize. And he's saying that plan and focus our energies with meaningful intent. There's nothing that can underscore work-life balance than that. Working smarter is learning to prioritize your life, plan, and focus our energies with meaningful intent. It cannot just be jack of all trades. It cannot just be everything goes. And next one, set boundaries. Set boundaries. Boundaries for yourself, your colleagues, to avoid burnout. You know, you can shut computer off when you leave office or leave a message that you are not in the office now. There are such messages on your laptop or your mail that you're on vacation. Please talk to my colleague. This is number, this email. So that even while on vacation, they will not be calling you, disturbing you. Delegate it. Set specific working hours. When it is 5, I'm going home. When it is 6, I'm going home. You know, notify your team member and manager about boundaries beyond which you cannot be accessible. Discuss that, let it be agreeable to you. And even your boss too, we don't want to do that. And if he calls you for emergency, you politely let him know, okay, you are the one that approved that. I understand. And that's why I say, you'll get back to me later, maybe through message. You know, but if you don't do that, if you make yourself available, even if you have agreed from the most senior or even board, this will still be abused. And number 8, learn the power of saying no. If you are constantly putting yourself as available around, your boss will take advantage of your willingness. I just mentioned that. So when you discover where your work-life threshold stand, don't be afraid to start saying no. But don't be cocky about it. Don't be rude about it. You know, always remember that your no can be as powerful as what? As yes. And if it's something that is known to your boss, it cannot be an offense for you to let your boss know that, sorry, I may not be able to attend to it now because I want to attend to my children or so and so. I'm taking my children to school, or this time we're having so hour in our family. You know, let them know. And they begin to respect that time because it is known that all of you have agreed to that. You know, so Michael here said, there's no work-life balance without making decisions and without courage. Colleagues, I want to note this. There's no work balance without you having to make a decision as an HR practitioner and without courage. If you continue to live in fear that if I tell my boss, you will get annoyed, so and so, or the fear of leaving your job, then you are not ready. I can understand some challenges we have in some offices, especially companies that are maybe privately owned. I'm talking about maybe small scale or medium scale because of the nature of pressure. But if you also come out to engage and respect you as a HR professional, little by little you win by trying to let them realize the implications of the burnout. Because if they don't allow them, 3, 4, 5 staff can fall sick at a time. And the fear of allowing them to rest, now they have no choice. They will go on medical leave. The company will be responsible for their medical bills, yet they will not be at work. So that is what is called money-wise, found foolish. So if you explain better and you let them see the instances, your boss will begin to listen to you, and initiative you have on plan will begin to unfold that truly it's good to encourage work-life balance. Set goals and priorities and stick to them. Set achievable goals, time management strategies, analyze your to-do list, pay attention to and when you are the time you are most productive, and like some of us we are saying, avoid checking your emails and phone every minute. You know, let them be there, you get back there. But you know, like I said again, it may be a challenge with some organizations because the moment they send something to you, don't read, you also run into the problem that I've sent to you 1 hour ago or whatever. But we are saying, if you are able to discuss all this and implication, and it's so agreed, that time they know you will not open your phone and it will not become offense. So try to structure and schedule your day. That will naturally increase your productivity, and I can tell you will achieve more results. Yeah. Even Michelle Obama also said we need to do a better job of putting ourselves higher on our own to-do list, meaning that you focus on the one that we have prioritized. Those critical things you want to do, focus on them, and you can be sure that you will achieve better. The 10th point is that exercise. And that I will also commend this platform again for us, form of a hangout and all the games and what have you that has been taking place. You know, some people don't have the luxury of that in the places of work, but this platform is providing that. And when they gain and enjoy it, it becomes something easy for them to write proposals, even their respective offices, and introduce that I belong to a body of HR plan. We do this. We don't spend much money. The total money we spend this before we do this in our company, employees will be better, they feel engaged or whatever have you. And with articulation and some kind of a tenacity in trying to push it, someday your boss will listen to that and they begin to see HR person as somebody who's bringing value to the table. So you need to show that you have to emphasize the importance of exercise when you work out the body by releasing some endorphins and what have you, that improve the mental health considerably. And this imbalance we are talking about, you see showing in different ways. Physically, you constantly have headache, stomach upset, sleep disturbance, changes in appetite, muscle tension, fatigue, heart palpitation. You know, you wonder, somebody is not working his own, and at that the heart is always having challenges. Even at times they have tendency to wanting to slump at work. You begin to wonder, how did you get to that level? And the area of emotion, people have depression, anxiety, difficulty making decisions. There are heartburns, you know, so you already bought a lot of things and suddenly you just throw out, you know, when you just get back to your colleague or get back to your subordinates, you know, there are resentments, there there is the feelings of some form of paralysis that you are helpless, you know. And a personal level, you know, lost time with friends and they don't see you. This is your job. You see a blessing of a cause. Somebody has asked that question some years back because he got a job and it disappeared. Nobody sees him. The family hardly sees him. Friend hardly sees him. The friend hardly see him. The church, the whatever. And they were asking him one day, I was there, that this is your job. Is it a cause or a blessing? People, but there was an uproar, but notwithstanding, it was a statement of fact. So, you know, you have job burnout, isolation, you stop social activities, you lose relationship, you are treating yourself, self-medicating and some other things because things are not going right. So we are saying stop and reflect. Stop and what? Reflect. It cannot continue that way. Because if your health gets failed and get to a bad level, you become also an endangered species. The company will excuse you and they will employ somebody else to take over. So you must reflect on the two areas in which you are most satisfied. What do you need to achieve a higher level of satisfaction in those areas? What do you need? And secondly, what will change for you if you become satisfied in those areas? So think of a moment in your life when you felt completely balanced. I remember I was balanced in January or in March. Now we now try to recount what exactly was happening that time. What did I do? And now were others involved that really made me to achieve balance? And how did I feel? If I feel good, that means I want to reinforce such behaviors, such actions, so that I can continue to maintain a balance from time to time. So it's important for us that what do you need to say no to in order to achieve more balance? What do you need to say yes to in order to achieve more balance? And what will happen if you don't say yes or you don't even say no to any of those things? Life still continues. Life continues. So you must get to a level where you tell yourself the honest truth that I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes, and level will not fall. But we are saying you do it with wisdom, with some form of balance, not in a rude or insolent manner. No, let people know, engage in meaningful discussion with your boss, and you'll be surprised that things that you think there will not be approval for, you get the approval. Because if you don't ask, you don't get. I have to tell my boss I'm not well, it's a problem. You will not be flogging yourself from home. If you break down on the road and you slump or whatever, that job will still continue. So you must stop all this form of slavery that we are also helping as a child. The challenge about work-life balance is that many of us HR practitioners are even the one promoting it. Because when the management tells us we cannot say no, we now begin to harass staff. We are the one pushing people to the limit. And later, when people begin to fall sick and the job is affected, the same management will still pass on you that you don't know what you are doing. So you must begin to think of how do I present all these noble things before my bosses or management for them to see reason, and you will seem to be adding value to the organization. So the key word is balance. So stop doing things that are not working. Find the right balance that works for you. I said earlier, what works for you may not work for me. So you find the right balance that works for you. Create a culture that supports your work-life balance. What culture I'm creating may be totally different from yours because of the environment of work or even my home. You know, focus on small successes. The balance will not just come in a jiffy. It comes little by little. It comes little by little. So when you are making it again, encourage yourself so that you can reinforce to do more until the balance you are talking about. And like you are saying now, the Gen Zs and Gen Y, Generation Ys and Gen Zs, they prefer work-life integration more than work-life balance. And we are going to look at that because they expect that it's not about balance, it's about integrating the work and the life together. And that's why they would prefer to stay at home, to work 2 days at home, work 2 days in the office or whatever. And they will tell you that anywhere they are still doing their job. Some organizations will not want to hear this, but some organizations hear that and there's no problem of productivity. So it's something we should know and we begin to do, especially with the advent of the effect of, what do you call it now, pandemic. It has proven to us that a lot of things can be done from outside the office. So the barrier, what are your barriers to balance the time? There's no time. I should have done this, I should have done that. You are feeling guilty. You are climbing the ladder. I'm just coming. I don't want something to truncate my career. Failure to set the limits. You can't say no. You are comparing. That will spell the doom. Now, trying to round up some sort. As HR practitioners, what are the strategies you want to think of bringing into play so that we can either establish, improve upon, or enhance or work-life balance in our places of work or in our life? Be the example. I said that earlier. Set the example. You are not able to win the war just easily like that, but you can start from your circle of influence, your department. Let your staff encourage them to do what? To be committed. Let them let them be more active to set boundaries and pay value on life outside work. Let them know that between the hours of work, they will do their best. And when they say they are done and they are going home and you certify the work has been done, let them go home. Let people get to HR and they know they have closed exactly at the closing hour. Anytime you are taking up the decision with line managers or even people at top, you can always refer to the example of your office. And they will not be able to fault it because they know that despite closing early, all your deliverables, nothing is in that. You are delivering well. The value is even enhanced better. So when they see that it's working, you also manage stakeholders. Who is your friend or close to you among the other head of department? You move to their department. So before he knows, he moves from HR department to another department, to another department. And before he knows, it permeates all nooks and crannies of your company. And the management begin to applaud the effort or the initiative of HR. You know, maintain a consistent structure. What this one is saying is that nobody likes to get to office and say he does not know what will happen today because there's no structure, no focus. Anything goes from morning to evening, no direction. But if there's continuous structure, people know what to do. Whether you are in the office or not in the office, they will work. That will help them to have a lot of balance. But what they are prepared to come and do today, Oga will say this, Oga will say, and it's like you do a lot of micromanaging, you create a lot of confusion anywhere. So as HR practitioner, you have to lead by example. Maintain a consistent structure that other people can take cue from. Ensure there is workplace, the workplace with positive energy. Let people be interested. When they close, they miss the office, they miss their colleague because the workplace has become a family environment because of bonding activities, initiatives that have made the workplace a place to go. Instead of hating to go to office, they feel like the weekend should just end and they go back because everybody look at the back of each other. They look for one another in ensuring their chief success both at work and their family life. You know, and we are talking about prioritizing time before, you know, to prevent overwhelming, being overwhelmed during the working day or feeling that you need to work extra hours. If you prioritize adequately with things to do and what have you, you are able to finish where you want to finish, and the rest can be used. The rest of the time can be used to balance your life. You know, avoid temptation to check mails on weekends or after work. You will say this man is talking theory. It can happen because that happens some places. But what have you also done to show that people don't need to call you over the weekend or be running after you with mails and calls because you have done the needful? Everything that to do, you have been done. But some of us too will not do the needful. So the bosses or the supervisors will be chasing us to ensure that we get things done, which is also a problem. So I want to say that it's our responsibility to prioritize. Then avoid temptation to, Sejil have said that, embrace work to life approach. Because there's more to life than the work. You have to embrace what to live. That is, you want to live apart from your work. This work cannot consume my life. If you have that type of value system, you will dedicate the appropriate time for work and also create time for life. So, and finally, give priority to your mental health. It's important for you to ensure that you take care of your mental health. The challenges of this world these days has proven to us that a lot of issue is around the mental health, and it's not abating. If you don't address it, remain there. And that's why we have a lot of people have been dropping dead, having challenges, threat to life, all manners of challenges with the what we call life-threatening diseases because of accumulated stress. So HR must be at the forefront of setting examples on all days. And I can tell you with that, you can begin to see some good efforts happening around your office using you or being a good example. There are other ones that we can talk about. Just understand that things are beyond your control. Take action to remove the stressor, breaking problem into smaller, manageable pieces, talking about some other ones like replace negativity with positive ones, adopt self-care practices. Don't wait for anybody. Take care of your health yourself and activities outside the office and the rest of you. The time is fast spent. Yemi, I think we can stop here, even though I still have some slides, but I'm thinking that maybe I can answer some of those things. But if you want me to talk about them, we talk about some beliefs that keep us stuck, that does not align us to really get out of it. People believe that if you say you are suffering from stress, it's a weakness on your part. Don't let them push you to that too. There's nobody does not break. Even machine do. Machine don't break down. Keeping stress to yourself is the best approach. Why? That is an old fallacy. Other people or situations are blamed for stress, for your stress and imbalance. Why? You don't begin to transfer unnecessary or rationalization. Cutting back or eliminating social will restore balance. Not at all. It can only help. Believing that there's only one single solution. No single solution. It has to be multiple solutions, And some people believe that work-life balance is an oxymoron. I laugh. It is reality. Work-life balance means 50% of your time at home and another 50% at work. It's also a fallacy. Women want more life balance than men. It's just all manners of belief that does not have anything to do with work-life balance. Or work-life balance is synonymous with work-family balance. Of course, to some extent, but that is not exactly the thing. So back to basics, I think we're there. And let me go by saying that Melissa just said, remember that work and life coexist. Wellness at work follows you home and vice versa. I want to say thank you very much as I want to wait for questions and comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
My apology for
excellent presentation. Tochukwu, please, you have the floor. Tochukwu, please.
Okay, go, great.
Thank you, sir.
My this thing is working now. Let me try back. You can see my face now. Okay, yes, my video is here. Oh, go back.
Can I ask my question now?
Okay, this me. I hope you can see me now.
Tochukwu, please go ahead.
Thank you very much.
We can see you, sir.
I hope you can see me now.
We can see you, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much, Doctor, for that elaborate expository. I just have two questions. One, you mentioned briefly about the difference between work integration and work-life balance. I would appreciate if you can throw a bit more light on that, especially on the work integration part. And then secondly, you briefly mentioned about the power to say no. You mentioned about saying no more than 5 times or 6 times during the course of the presentation. Then how does it play out, especially where you have a demanding boss who wants you to do something and you are saying no because it is beyond, working hours? How does that really impact in terms of seeing your professionalism or the commitment you have towards your company when you have this strong line of saying no because it's outside working hours, it's your time or your family time? So I really need to get a balance on those 2 points. Thank you.
All right. I think we can take. Do I take the question or you want me to answer one by one, Yemi?
Another question here, sir. How do we balance work life with this Lagos traffic and roadblock? You can take those questions for now, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. When we talk about work-life integration, we must acknowledge we need to work. Are you getting me? There's no two way to that. We need to work. Even spiritually, that you must work. You need to provide for yourself, for your family, both nuclear and extended. So there's no running away from the fact that work. So work-life integration is telling you that you have to integrate your work to your life. You have the two to live. If there's no life, there's no work. You cannot work if your head is at jeopardy. So you must find a way of ensuring there's a balance such that your life is there and the work is also there. The question, like I mentioned, honestly, is that for small-scale industries, some medium-sized industries, the challenge is humongous, and I must admit. But we are saying to ourselves that it's important for us to embrace what is ideal. And that is the challenge we have as HR practitioners, to begin to leave a lasting impression in the minds of our supervisors or business owners, to begin to listen to us when we are throwing things that initially it will be difficult. But the small ways you have is when you say this and it comes, and you're able to tie initiatives to productivity or profitability. For example, maybe when you talked last year, you didn't listen. This year now, you are talking about number of absenteeism or the rate of number of people that went off on medical leave, and you are able to connect that to the fact that there is overwork here and there with data, with statistics. And you now say that if they don't, let us even try for 3 months and let's see. And they say, okay, let's try for whatever it takes. And you are able to say and establish that the last 3 months that you have introduced some modicum of work-life balance, things have gotten better. Productivity has increased. Profitability has increased. Who is that business owner who don't want to listen to that? But if you are just asking, he will be telling you that why are you comparing his company with that company? You better go to that company and work. Are you getting me? So that's why in HR analytics, we are saying that data. And I'm sure we have had that here. We have had a lot of representation here on data, telling you that let the data speak. HR person must harm himself with data, statistics that will prove to the business owners who is saying no to all the changes that this is the implication of what you know. You are not saying yes to, you are not allowed work-life integration. This is what is happening. That is the reason why 2 or 3, even when people do their, what they call it now, exit interview, and they put it there, find a way of getting the feedback to management, not to slam it in the face, look at it now, no, you find a way. When you are trying to propose or give a reason why you're having some challenges, with 5 of the people out of the 10 people that left, 7 of them also attributed their exit to not having life outside this work. And okay, I want to say that they love this company, they want to work, they even like you as a person, but they are complaining about over. You begin to, I told you earlier too that it's not going to just come in a jiffy. No, some wins gradually, and learning to say no. The first thing I want to say is that understanding your boss is your number 1 assignment if you want to achieve success under him. Please note that. You need to understand your boss. You need to know the appropriateness of time, when to present, how to present, what to present. The fact that you have an impression that is demanding, well, yes, he's demanding, but occasionally he does listen to other things. They say yes to something. Why is it not possible for you to understand that I will present maybe 2 or 3 times or even more time before you will listen? You must know the button that there's a word for it of your boss, where when you touch, you get the answer. And when you look at it and you see the body language and it's not listening, you can drop it. Don't let it cause quarrel. You can always represent another time until you achieve success. Don't give up. And the moment you get that success, the value comes. They begin to respect you, that you actually have value, that you are bringing to the table. So this is what we are talking about. If they learn to say no, no doubt that we have difficult bosses. They are everywhere. But unfortunately for us, you are not coming to take my hand. The move button. When you press the move button of your boss is able to just begin to listen to what he's not able to listen to, because you have come to understand him. And learning to say no does not mean that you have to be insultive or you have to be arrogant. No, but you have to, in a professional way, with wisdom, with some tact, being able to tell Oga, you are the one that said we should rest, I know, but just okay, sir. But next week, if you do that, I will not say, okay, don't mind, and you will go ahead. you are not forging your body, but you are passing the message. Next week, he wants to do also, he will think twice. He may still send it, but he knows that it's contravening, is going against what all of you as a department organization has disagreed. That is better than when he does this one at any call. He doesn't care because there's nothing like a policy. There's no initiative. Nobody's bringing it up to him to note that we should do this. Then Lagos traffic. One of those things that some companies were doing in recent time in bank is what is likely to happen again. When the cost of diesel began to go up, like the fuel is going up now, some bank will say by 5 o'clock, if you don't want to go, they will shut down the system. You cannot have access to computer, you cannot even see light. When there is no light, if your house is far, make an alternative. Don't make our office a resting place. That is something that can bring the organization to say, let us work and close on time. That is one. Another one is the fact that the work-life balance of distance, is very, very unfortunate because of the infrastructure we have in the country. If imagine the train to from Ido to Agege is also working from that same place to Badagry Road or whatever, or otherwise, and we have 3 of them. You can imagine the number of employees who will be benefiting from this. So the issue of traffic will come abated. I believe someday we are going to get there. But we are saying that despite all that, we cannot afford to raise our hands and say we are hands up that there's no way to maintain balance. Everybody has to look at what works for him. Let me shock you. Some of us are staying on the island, not far from their office, yet they're not having work-life balance. So it's not even the traffic per se. It's about the person not making conscious effort to ensure he maintains balance. For those who are far, we can understand. What of those who are not far? People work in maybe Marina, they say what do you call it, Oyibo or Ebute Meta, whatever. Just one bus drive, yet they don't maintain a balance. So if we are considerate of, say, we may not have immediate response or solution to those who stay very far away, what of those who stay close? What we are saying this evening is the consciousness on the part of us, our HR practitioner, to begin to implement this one, laying example to others around us. And when we have succeeded in our department, talk to friendly departments too, introduce to them. The moment your friend who's the leader there agrees, introduce. You can even say one evening, come and discuss during your maybe take back session or whatever. Come and address my department and sell there and take the lead, and everybody is happy. They'll be happy that you are be able to influence their organ positively, and before you know it, when they embrace it, they are the one that will speak for you at the management level, at management team level. Anytime you want to talk about it generally, and others are saying no, the other colleagues who have embraced it will be your mouthpiece. And before you know it, can permeate all the other departments in the organization. I think I've attempted to answer that. Thank you very much. Other questions, please.
Okay, Mr. Aderele, you have the floor, sir.
Deji. Abuja man.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for this insightful paper. I really, really appreciate.
Thank you.
So my question is, I know when one begins to get to the C-suite level, and I'm sure that you are also culpable here, it becomes very, very increasingly difficult to be able to, say that entirely I want to maintain this balance. Sometimes when you begin to get to that level, some sacrifices here and there, sometimes, having to stay away from family just because of, job location, spending, more hours at meetings, strategy meetings, odd hours meetings, and all that. So I don't know what advice you will give to people that are now at this level. I know that at entry level and at some levels, it's a little easy to, say that, yes, I want to close at this time. But, at some levels, even if you close, even if you think that you are going to rest, you will not rest. because you know that there is a lot that is hanging on you. So I don't know what tips that you can give to people at the C-suite level on how to be able to, really manage work-life balance. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much, DG, my person. Like you have said, I've been a victim of this many times, and even my family have been victim of it. Complain to me. You'll be at work, you work late, you also come back home, you are on phone, you are on WhatsApp, are you getting me? And some of these things will come as if heaven will fall if you don't do it. Unfortunately, if you want to say you want to do the work-life balance on your own, you become irresponsible. At the C-suite level, management or board, the issue will be critical that you have no choice than to do that. And where you are even involved in 2-3 organizations and you are operating at the board level, that's why we are saying this virtual meeting has even made life more miserable than the physical one. You know, we can give excuse. There's no petrol. I am head in the traffic, whatever. But for virtual, what will you say your excuses? Look at how I've been panting over not connecting because I have no excuse in the world to say that I'm not available except I want to be given another excuse. In fact, organization will go to the extent of buying you the best modem that you don't have any excuse, whether you are in the country or you are outside the country. You are very, very much correct. But we are saying that which one is better? You want to work yourself to death or you want to live? I hope you are with me. So, and when you get to that sixth level, you also know that you will have advanced in age to some extent, some 40 and above. And the medical science and all mental health cancers are also that from 40 and above, you have to be conscious of the fact that, hey, the age is telling gradually, not the way you were when you are below those ages. So what happened is ability to bring these issues to fore at the C-suite level with others. Are you getting me? And that's why when you go to some organizations, anytime, especially the moment that you have signed on work-life balance, there's somebody who's a promoter, most likely HR, who continue to remind the EMD anytime they are busy meeting. Or guy, you are the one that says, so this meeting go to 10, okay, don't worry, let us get hotel for them so that we will not rush again. You know, they try, and those things they don't do for a large number of staff, they can do for them because the numbers are always few. That is one. Another one is that if you begin to say it, you can ask, okay, what then do you suggest? If you say we had one yesterday, we have been having meeting every day, that means throughout the way we have been. I'm thinking let them rest today, but this is important because it's important. Can we take it along with that of Thursday so that we don't come on Friday? I hope you are following me. So you begin to bring ideas because you are the apostle of work-life balance, and you need to continue to ring it as a bell. And don't be surprised. As you are saying it, some other colleague of you also desire it, but they don't have the mouth to say it because of one is or the other. So if you have somebody like professional like you who is bringing to play, they will not listen. But it is not to say that it's going to come that cheap or that easily. Because many a time when especially when the organization is not doing well, you will not want the court to raise it. Because at times there are what I call it, what is called is a fire brigade approach to solve problems when the life of the organization is being threatened in terms of persistence. That time, all rules are suspended, including work-life balance. I hope you are following me. So that is the way we see. But if we don't make conscious effort as mentioning it, we will never think about it. And let me tell you, like it happens in organization, even in the spiritual. Are you aware of situation when we have pastors slumping on pulpits? Are you there? It's happening at work because people don't think that really is, and they over specialize everything. So he's telling us that if it can happen at that realm, the workplace is even much more dangerous. People must learn to slow down, even though you are helpless at times, but you must look for little opportunities to ensure, because if you fall sick today or you are in the hospital, the office will not be short. They will have somebody again perhaps next to you to take over the assignment and begin to do it, which means that you are valuable and appreciated as long as you are available. And only those who are available are being used. So that's why I mentioned earlier, even though it's difficult at the C-suite level, we must be talking about it. So talking about it rings the bell in the heart of you people who are decision makers and want to lead by example. I think I've attempted your questions, Digi. I only don't know if you are satisfied with your answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm satisfied.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Oloyede. I think this is a convenient time to call it a night because tomorrow is another working day.
Exactly. And we must also sign on to the work-life balance that we are preaching.
Exactly. Because this is also some form of work, even though it is learning and pleasure at the same time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and attention. Let's show Dr. Oloyede some love with clapping, emoticons, emojis, whatever. Thank you. We celebrate you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate you for your audience. Thank you all for your time. Thank you, Yemi. Keep on the good work. God bless you richly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Godfrey, thank you, Florence.